Hi everyone, it's Mika, your international student here in Hungary. And just a quick life update. I just got back from Italy. Yay! It was such a beautiful country to visit, and although the weather is really, really hot, like super duper hot, but overall it was such a fun experience, and I am currently editing my vlog now, so I hope you guys watch that video. And it was such a stressful first day in Italy and all of that, but anyways, I am making this video to address the inquiries or the questions that people have been asking me lately, because a lot of people have been asking me on how did I discover this scholarship, what is the benefit of this scholarship. Maybe I'll break this video down into multiple parts, just to focus on some parts of the questions. So yeah, okay. And I have here my laptop here with me so that I will not forget any important information. But if you guys have questions about the scholarship, you can also comment down below and I'll try to address them, or if I could, I will try to answer them as much as I could. So first and foremost, this experience is just based from my personal experience, and there might be a lot of changes, or there might be changes that is currently going on in today's application process. But as for that, you can always email your sending partner or email a Stipendium Hungaricum itself for your inquiries. Okay, so let's start. I just wanted to introduce myself a bit. So I am currently studying Bachelor of Science in Nursing and Patient Care here in Hungary, specifically in the University of Miskolc, under the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship. So I actually have also my phone with me so that I will not forget a lot of important information. So how did I discover this scholarship? So, well, studying abroad wasn't really in my plan. Like, it never ever did cross in my mind to study abroad, because I was already applying for multiple state U in my hometown in the Philippines. So I was so complacent that, oh, I'm going to study here in my country with my family and all of that. But this step actually changed my life. So one day I was scrolling just through my Facebook feed, and then there's this Facebook page called Scholarship Corner. I am not sure if they are still active today, but I found this scholarship through this page, which is called Scholarship Corner. So, and it was around 12 a.m. So, and I was very curious. I was like, okay, let's open this, because it states that it's a fully funded scholarship. So I opened it and then researched a little bit about it. But the thing is, the application was not open at the time yet, because it was October. It was around October or September. So I kind of just brushed it off and then forgot about it for a couple of weeks. And then when I opened my Facebook again, it literally just popped up again. And then I was like, it was already mid-December when I found it again, the scholarship again, and they were opening it already. So the next step that I took was I was like, okay, why don't I give it a shot? So after discovering the scholarship, I actually did some a little bit research about it. I one of the things that I can really advise for you guys is to join multiple Facebook groups about the scholarship, because you can find there people who are on the same page as you, especially with in the same of your nationality. For example, because in this Stipendium Hungaricum Scholar, there is a sending partner, or it's more the scholarship's country partner. So as for me, since I'm living in the Philippines, our sending partner is Chad. So this is the agency, or the partner which helps us in processing our application for like interview process and all of that. So you can actually find the information in the Stipendium Hungaricum site itself, including your sending partner contact details, the email, and other informations about the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholar. So when I did my researching, I wanted to understand what courses were available, because for me, I was already, my chosen course was already fixed. I wanted to take up nursing. That's all. I didn't look for another option except for nursing. So I checked the schools, I checked the what are the certain requirements for the school, and then which schools offers BSc nursing and patient care. So I was actually kind of confused because, and as I was researching, there is like BSc nursing and patient care, then physiotherapist, a specialization, and nursing patient care. So you have to make sure that what you're choosing, what the program that you're choosing is the one that you really want, and not to get confused with all of those information. And also the eligibility requirement. So I actually also check what are the requirements that is needed for the nursing and patient care, if there are additional requirements that I need to pass in the site or the uni itself. And also the application timeline. I'll be talking about this one on another video, but I'll be also like talking about this one briefly in this video. So I can say that researching is definitely the most important part of this, because you get to know which city you're getting into, what is the cost of living, is the cost of living high, is the rent high, and stuff like that. How is the international community? So I can say, if you discover the scholarship, then do your research. So yeah, step 3, choosing my program and university. So as I've said a while ago, that choosing nursing was definitely fixed for me. So ever since I started to apply for the scholarship, I already knew what I wanted. So make sure that you already knew what you want, what program or what course do you want to take. In the Stipendium Hungaricum site itself, it's written there already how many semesters would you take this kind of program, whether it's bachelor, masters, or like PhD itself. So okay, next is preparing my documents. So this was probably the longest part that the longest part of the entire process. So I had to prepare these several documents, and every document needed to be accurate. So I'm just going to say some of the common documents included in the Stipendium Hungaricum itself. So you can also find these general requirements in the Stipendium Hungaricum itself. So first one is the passport, of course, the very most important, diploma. So since I am not a graduate at the time when I submitted my document, I made a letter of declaration stating that I am still studying and will upload my diploma later. So that's actually fine. But you have to make sure that some because some of the documents have a mandatory deadline, and some of the documents can be submitted later, so you have to make sure which documents can be submitted later and which documents could be submitted on the first deadline. So next for the diploma is the transcript of records. So I already have my transcript of records with me, since I also applied for another state university in my country. So I just uploaded it right away. Next is the certificate of English proficiency. So just a heads up, I didn't take any IELTS, Duolingo, or any other language proficiency exam. So what I did was, since my school is, I mean, I think majority in the Philippines are already, or like integrating, I no, not integrating, but using English as the medium of instructions in school. So I just asked our registrar for an English certificate that states that we are using the English language in our school or in our textbook. So motivation letter. So this is one of also the most important document that you have to submit on the Stipendium Hungaricum site. For my motivation letter, there's actually a word count in which you can, or how long you can write the motivational letter. So you can also check the, so you can also check it on the site as well. So for the curriculum vitae, yes, I also submitted it right away on the site. And medical document. So I think for the medical document, I haven't received. Okay, so when I did my medical application, or when I did some of my medical process, that was before I got the result from my sending partner. So it was literally a risk for the applicant, or it was literally a risk for me to take the medical documents before knowing my result in the sending partner. Because once you got your result on your sending partner, that will be your indication if you can proceed to, if you can proceed to apply for the scholarship or not. So in my case, I submitted my medical documents before I got the result. So I don't know how it goes for another country, or I don't know how it goes for others, but for me, that was my experience. And then other program specific requirements. So there's actually additional requirements for other program related. So as for me, I didn't have any additional documents that I need to submit. But I think if you're taking arts or music, you have to submit some portfolio or something. Okay. And by the way, some documents needs to be translated into English, so there should be an English translation for it. Well, it's based from my experience, but since my diploma and my other documents are already in English or translated in English, so I didn't really um I didn't really take note of that, so I just submitted it also right away. Okay. So I just wanted to highlight also that one of the challenging, I guess, for me was writing my motivational letter. So like in your motivational letter, you have to input why, not just why you want to study abroad, but why did you choose this kind of program out of all the countries that you're applying to? Why Hungary? And you cannot just say, oh, I want to study abroad. So in your motivational letter, it's not just all about saying, I want to study abroad. So it's also like, why did you choose the university? Why did you choose Hungary among all the countries or among other country? Why are you not going to study in your country? And any something like that, like a lot of things. You just have to put it out there and just be true, be honest as to why you want to study there and all of that. I'm not really good at advising when it comes to writing this one, since I'm also having a hard time myself. But those are just one of the highlights that I also input in my motivational letter. And just a quick note, or just a fun fact, I actually revise I actually revised my motivational letter a couple of times. I don't know for how many times, but yeah, it's actually motivational letter was one of the hardest document that I actually process. So next is submitting my application. So once I completed everything, even though I still have a couple of documents that I will submit later on, after graduation. I uploaded all my documents through the Stipendium Hungaricum portal. So before you submit, just check if the document that you're sending is correct, because they will be having like a technical check or technical check for every profile if you guys submitted two applications, so that's not allowed. So when I submitted my application, the next step was actually the waiting game. So after that, my sending partner sent us an email that there will be an interview about, yeah, the scholarship and your program and all of such. So as for my interview with my sending partner, it was actually a little bit stressful because um my interview was supposed to be in the morning, but it was canceled and was moved into the afternoon. So I didn't know that this kind of interview was really, really like that serious, like really serious, I must say. And I was there like I was at school at this time around, and I was like catching the internet connections around our campus because the internet connection is not really that good. And so I had to excuse myself from the class to have this interview. And the time that is stated on my interview schedule wasn't because I think also there's a lot of applicants before me, so it wasn't followed, and I had already taken the interview at around 4 p.m. because it was supposed to be around 2 something, 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. I forgot the time. But yeah, I was interviewed by the CHED, or by my sending partner. They asked me about my motivation as to why I wanted to study in Hungary. Why did I choose this school out of the other schools in Hungary? So it was honest for me. I was so nervous at the time. I stuttered a lot of times, but as much as I could, I tried my best to answer the question, and I tried my best to answer it transparently, honestly, and just be yourself. Just be yourself. I don't know how it goes for another country, if you guys will have an interview or you guys will have an examination for it. But as for us, we have an interview, and we also, by the way, we also submitted a separate requirements to our sending partner. So they actually like had a document, a Google Docs document, in as to where they put the requirements that are needed to be submitted to the sending partner. And they also have a different deadline from the Stipendium Hungaricum itself. And after the submission for the sending partner, I actually waited around 1 to 2 weeks at that time, because I called actually our sending partner, and they told me that due to a huge number of applicants, so they are checking it individually, and then they will just get back to us about if we have a lacking documents for the sending partner requirements. And then the last step, the acceptance. So, okay. So once I receive the result from my sending partner that I actually passed, I need to take an entrance examination in my university. So as for my examination, it was not really a written exam, but an interview, like an oral exam. So I don't know what to expect actually in the interview, because on that oral exam there were a lot of things to, I mean, the topic that is needed to be covered. So when I had my interview with my university, so they asked me about myself, also my motivation, why did I choose the university. And after that, we then proceed to my oral exam. So I think one of the questions that I can remember was like, it was more on like high school science topic, like biology, chemistry, and a little bit of physics, I think. So yeah, I think one of the question was like about photosynthesis, but I already forgot the exact question that they asked me. And after that interview with my university, which is my first priority, I also need to take the exam for the second priority university that I had. But as for the second priority, I just took it was an online exam, but it wasn't an oral exam. So we just need to submit the document back to the university and then just wait for I mean 1 week to get the result. So after a week, the I received my result from the university that I actually passed. So I was really happy by that. And and I also received the result for the second priority school that I applied to. So yeah, after that, you just have to wait for the final decision, which is actually the tempus, if they would actually give you the scholarship or not. So I think that was also around July when I received it. I forgot if it's June or July that I received the acceptance result that I actually passed, or I actually like got the scholarship itself. And yeah, I can remember telling my parents about it, and they were happy about the result. And after that, the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship actually gives you 7 days to think if you would accept the scholarship or not. So in my case, I just accepted the decision um, on the seventh day because I needed to talk to my parents about it and discuss about the things. Because studying abroad is not really an easy process, and as someone who haven't tried these things out, or like as someone who just graduated from senior high school and then make this kind of huge decision is actually not easy, and it actually needs a lot of you know things that are needed to be prepared for, not just the documents but financially and also physically and mentally. So I just accepted it on the seventh day of the week. And after that, after the after I accepted it, they sent me an award letter that I had accepted the scholarship. And from then on, everything goes follow from my requirements, from my visa process to as to when I went to Manila to attend the Stipendium Hungaricum orientation, and we can also process the visa there. So actually, for the visa, we didn't actually pay for anything. We also had a visa center in Cebu, VFS Cebu. So I just processed my documents there, and I think the only thing that I paid was for the photocopy, and for like I need to retake my picture again. But aside from that, aside from like I didn't pay for the visa, and I just showed them the form that I am a Stipendium Hungaricum scholar and that the visa is waived for me. And after that, everything follows, and I booked my plane ticket, and finally we had arrived in Hungary. So I hope I already tackled the things that you guys wanted to know. But again, this is just my personal experience. Requirements can vary from your countries, your sending partner, and all of that. So you can find all of the informations in the Stipendium Hungaricum site. And you can also join a lot of Facebook groups to know more about the city that you're choosing, the university that you're choosing, or what kind of international community they have. And yeah, I didn't notice that it's now 24 minutes or 25 minutes. So I'm going to end this vlog now. Thank you so much for watching this up until the end of the video, and let me know if you guys have further questions or another inquiries about the scholarship, and I'll try to address them into my next video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you in my next vlog. Bye bye.